9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We will solidify the connections we share with Dominicans all over. Hop on board the CTD train and let's strengthen the ties that bind us. Connecting the dots. ASU Radio DBS.
Heavenly Father, creator of mankind and the universe, we thank Thee for the gift of life today and all the blessings You continue to bestow on Your children. We seek Your presence and intervention throughout this program, and we ask that You keep us connected always. We also pray for the success of the program, its coordinators and listeners, that they may find purpose and enjoy what we share. Bless our radio station and the nation, and may we grow to love and unite with each other, irrespective of our differences. All this we ask in Your name, now and forever. Amen.
Good morning. Why you kuma ouye, kuma bagay kamache jodi la? As we welcome you to another edition of Connecting the Dots on National Broadcaster DBS Radio. Remember, our house is on Victoria Street. I'm sitting in the Ted Daily studio. My guest is in the Felix Anderson studio. And my production crew is in the Kurt Matthews studio. Imagine that, eh? Welcome. It's that time again. It's the Connecting the Dot time. Connecting the dots, the dots time on DBS Radio. The overarching theme is very, very simple. Look, I Zegle in there because I see Nigel in an outfit. Then I'm like, wow, Nigel means business. Yes, I was saying that the overarching theme is very simple: to strengthen the ties that bind us. Well, there's a lot more we can say. To put it in a nutshell, I'm guessing that you get the drift. So in close to 6 years, we have solidified our bonds. We have laughed together and sometimes even cried together. Just last week, we celebrated the achievements of our young people. What a program that was, eh? Very inspiring. Nigel Francis is still on island, and I have a strong feeling he's having fun in the Commonwealth. Nigel, I hope you don't go and change your top, you know. In fact, let me put on Nigel, eh? Nigel, report to base, please. What?
What's going on? What's happening?
No, boy. Nigel, you looking, I don't know, something. What? Yes. You're going to MC a function this morning, man?
I ride on the island vibes, man. Yes, I was in a how you call it? In a sort of a wind down session kind of a meeting.
Yes,
right where I am located. I won't say the name of the place though. But I am somewhere down Rosalie area.
Hey, but Nigeria, I like that top way.
So you might see me walking now and then because where I'm seated there is right by the reception room, and now and then when the guest comes in, I have to vacate the area. So But it's good, it's good, it's good. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing?
Well, we there. Look, didn't tell you to leave the shirt for him when you're going.
Didn't I have that packaged for you? I'm gonna leave that right there for you. Yes. Dina, I haven't seen you yet. You told me you were coming up that way. I haven't seen you, man. What's going on with that?
Didn't he send you right? I that's a lie.
The right.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I mean, Dean has rights at his disposal, eh?
Didn't songing just like like what youngster would normally say.
It's the same place they're from, man. The same area.
Yes. Oh, sorry if I'm walking a little bit. Yeah, just.
Oh, what is that for with you today?
But I will. I'm trying to locate the best place so I don't disturb anybody. So this is going to be a special connecting it out. Me walking in all over the people's place.
Trust you, Nigel. Trust you. Let's probably say.
I must tell you though. I mean, there are a number of people who tell me make sure that I say hi to Ivona for them. Not even for me, for them.
Look at smiling there, Nigel.
So I saying hello, and they're listening, by the way. So all of you tell me say Ivona hello for all you. I have just said hello to her for y'all, okay? So you don't have to meet me and tell me anything else.
Yes.
I am trying to relocate to the best place so I won't be disturbed again.
Okay, Papa. Yes.
But how are you doing, man? How you doing?
Okay, I just thinking Ellis probably saying, we Nigel, you're more from one John Yan than her. If that's a word. What? Look, Nigel stick. Nigel, what's happening? I see you walking a lot. Well, it appears, Nigel, I'm not sure if you hear me clearly, it appears that the further you go, I mean, in terms of the quality, it's not the best. So you have to sit somewhere, go under a tree or whatever, so we can capture you properly. Look, you stick.
So I'm going to go back then. I go under a mango tree. Hold on.
Yeah.
So you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, as long as you can hear
me.
A
while ago you were stuck, though. I don't know. I look at coconut tree. But Nigel, where are you really?
Yes, it's okay. I'm going under the
lovely.
Mango tree. It's lovely. I'm actually at the Rosalie Bay Resort.
Yes. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was where, of course, the dinner was last night. For the Monjon Riviera Cyric reunion. The dinner was held here.
Yeah.
And so I decided to just, take a day and spend it here instead.
Okay, well, that's nice. Yes.
So,
yes. So you must,
I don't DBS to send a bill to them, so, But thank you, Rosalie Bay Resort. I appreciate your generous contribution to connecting the dots.
Is this overcast skies, Nigel, I'm saying?
It was supposed to be both of us, but you didn't show up, so.
Okay, yes, I was asking overcast skies or what?
Right now, yes, a little overcast.
Okay, all right.
A slight drizzle earlier this morning, but now it's okay.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
This guy decided to come and cut grass.
Papa.
But
all right, I thought it was the Saharan dust.
But yeah, man, let me just say congratulations to those on the Monjon Riviera Reunion Committee. Excellent job so far. In terms of the different activities that they're having. I know Davis is coming up, I know Tebow is coming up, but so far, I mean, this reunion and what they've been able to do has really been good. So hats off to the committee. We had some, interesting guests here last night. Hey, by the way, PM, good morning to you. He passed through.
Okay.
So yes, at the dinner, he had a few speeches. I know Youngster would have loved to have been there to capture that for news. Youngster, by the time I remember that, I said, let me record it for you. Time had gone. I had one or two. But it's been a good time, man. It's been a good time. Dean hasn't been there. After the dinner, there was an after party in Riviera Cyric, and after party in Monjon on the road and everything else. So it's been good.
All right.
Everybody tell me where I going, and I told them she's on her way. But it didn't happen.
Tell a lie still. but I'm happy. I'm happy that you're enjoying yourself in Monjon, Nigel, and hats off to the organizing committee.
Yes.
So yeah. All right. So we welcome everybody to Connecting the Dots. Nigel, before I forget, let's congratulate what's his name? Addison James, I think. He won a NACA championship gold medal in Mexico. Was it yesterday? I think. Yes, yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yes,
So
yes,
young
yes,
Addison
yes,
James
yes.
really, doing well for Dominica. So let's just say a big up
Yeah,
to him.
congratulations to him, man. I think winning gold, right?
He won gold.
Yes,
And
yes. And,
remember as well,
the
Nigel,
the president of the Dominican Olympic Committee was sitting who's like, hey, Billy. Okay. Says congratulations to him as well. So
wow. We should have arranged something, man, Nigel. So you could not bring me people and I'll take the guest with me. We'd have a nice time. We'd sit down on the tree and talk about Assam.
Yeah,
police, Nigel.
You know what we should have done, man? We should have had today to just, because there's so many guests here right now. And all who want to say hi to you and who want to say thank you to you and how they listen every Saturday to us. And, how grateful they are for this program and all the rest of it. So it would have been nice. I mean, this gentleman who told me, from St. Thomas, actually, who tells me that he and his wife gets into a little bit of issue sometimes because at 5 to 9, he closes the door and tell her, "I'll see you at 11:05." So every Saturday, religiously, he listens to the program, and there are a number of others who do the same. So really appreciate it. We're glad to be able to do this for you guys. And to be able to connect with our Dominicans wherever they are.
Yes. I've met a lot of people, who have told me they always listen. They always listen to Connecting the Dots.
Yes.
They also always listen to the Experience Creole program. So we are very consistent with this at DBS Radio.
Very
Connecting
consistent.
the Dots,
very consistent.
Experience Creole on every Monday to Friday. So, yeah.
Yes. And there was there's this lady as well who mentioned that it's funny, she said, talk to the program director. I'm like, okay, I'll find out who she is. And they wanted to know, whether there's chances of like repeating some of the programs on a Sunday when some people are not, they want us, on a Sunday afternoon. They were asking for repeats, and I'm like, well, you can always go back
I've thought of that, Nigel, and there are a lot of programs worth repeating, obviously.
There's some programs they feel
but maybe worth editing too, worth editing. I don't know if we can repeat it in its same form. Because sometimes it doesn't really align with what's happening on the day of the repeat, but we'll see.
Yes.
There are a lot of programs that we can repeat. If not
definitely so. But it was good, man. It's good that we can, be able to connect with people all over and they appreciate the connection and what we're doing. So, we thank you for that.
Yeah, yes. Definitely. So whilst I extended congratulations to Addison, but Akisha Luke as well. Remember, she had to be on last week with us on Connecting the Dots, but she was
right. She was participating in the athletics meet, right?
Yes, and then we had Cedric Harris representing her on the program.
Right.
But I think she captured silver in her event, so hats off to her as well.
Well, yes.
At the OECS Track and Field Championship, she captured silver there. So yeah.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
And whilst I'm saying hats off as well to athletes, and Nigel, I think we should just designate a month to our athletes on Connecting the Dots. So probably that's something we can discuss.
That's
but
something
for 4
we can
consecutive Saturdays or 5, depends on what month it is, I think we should just bring some of the athletes on and some of the clubs as well.
Great idea.
So hats off as well, Nigel, to the Aspirers Athletics Club. The Dominican athletes there who competed in Curacao, I think. I'm not too sure. But anyway, they captured gold, they captured silver, they captured bronze. So yes, hip hooray. I think in triple jump in the men's open, and that's a big thing for us in Dominica as well. So we always have to sing the praises of our young people.
Yes. We always give them, for the hard work that they're putting in, the training, the behind the scenes thing that we don't always see. So to all the coaches, the athletes, the family members, the support system for them, hats off, man. Congratulations. Keep representing Dominic and keep doing well.
Definitely. Talking about athletics and all of that, were you rooting for Spain yesterday, or was Belgium your preferred choice? Or did you even have time?
Typically I go with Brazil, and since they've been out, I haven't really done much. But I was like neither here nor there. So on that one, I was like, whoever goes through, that's okay with me,
Okay, all right.
Yes, I really wanted Morocco to take care of France, which they didn't do. So,
yeah.
No, we see what happens.
Yeah.
It's getting closer and closer to
Yes,
be
definitely.
looking like a France-Argentina finals.
Yeah, it's
based
really
on what's going on,
Yes.
But we'll see.
It should be a big semi-final clash as well on Tuesday, I think, Spain and France. So let's see what happens.
Yes, that's going to be a big one, man. So those two rival European countries going at it.
But talking about that though as well, Nigel, it is obvious that the World Cup holds deep significance in the Caribbean. Yes, our local teams are not playing, but to a large extent we rally to support, Caribbean, or Latin American nations. So for us, it's a big thing. Sometimes there's a kind of hush in certain places when the World Cup games are on, especially unless a goal is scored or something, you have a big uproar. But a lot of people are following this even more so than the last World Cup in Dominica. Yeah.
Oh yes,
a lot of people in Dominica, that is. Yeah.
The people during that time, you can't say much. You can't talk. You can't move around too much. You just have to. Well, I was trying to see if I get the book in the meantime.
Okay.
But yeah,
are we on, Nigel? I not seen myself.
You mentioned, well, I was trying to see if we're on.
I just seen the flyer. I know Dean is working behind the scene.
Well,
but Dean put us on.
I wasn't seeing you for a little bit, but I'm seeing you now. So I guess.
Okay, yes, I see myself. Okay, now Dean, thank you.
Yes,
all right.
yes.
So let's go to the Dominica corner and then we bring another guest.
Yes.
Oh, what is the book saying? Anybody on already?
Well, the book. Let me say good morning to Castle. Congratulations to all the athletes. Astrid the Pinard says good morning to you both, watching from St. Martin. All right. Send us the ticket. We'll come and do the show in St. Martin. No problem. Louisa and Pierre are the successful athletes heading to the Commonwealth Games later this month. Well, I know based on my little discussion with the DOC president and stuff, I know there are about 4 athletes that will be representing us. In the Commonwealth Games, including Addison James. I think Danik Luke as well should be there. Okay. So, yes. Good morning to you, Carol. Carol, good morning. Elias Francis, good morning. Naila, Ali, good morning, Naya and Ali. They're having breakfast and they left me without.
Oh, well, that's good. I saw you made your grand entrance. You brought them to see Auntie Ivona. So that's good.
Yes. That's good. And they were so happy to do
yesterday.
They were so happy to see you as well. Yeah. So please bring breakfast to me for when I'm done.
You hungry, man, Nigel?
And see my figure. So and to all of you who are in the restaurant area where they're having breakfast, that's listening to us. Yeah. Good morning to you. We appreciate you. Thank you for always connecting. And save me breakfast.
All right.
Carl Kofi James, good morning to you. Yes, appreciate it as well. So who's turn? Your turn.
So Dominica corner now. MTM, Nigel. You know what is MTM?
MTM.
When I say Dominica corner, get it, Nigel.
Oh, your turn. My turn now. Yes, MTM.
My turn, man. Okay. Give me a typical example of Kudme in Dominica, in Dominican fashion, of course. Like Kudme. What? Let's give you a typical example.
Typical example as well is when they get together and decide they go and pave that piece of road right in front of the health center, or they're gonna go ahead and cut some trees that blocking somebody's way to their house. So they would come together and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one person doing the shoveling, one person doing the mixing.
Okay.
Another person have the wheelbarrow.
Yes, sir.
The other person, pouring the cement, and the other one leveling it out. And in the meantime, you have the ladies in the kitchen doing some cooking.
No, that still happens today. This still happens today.
All is done.
But I was saying that this still happens today. But let's take us back to one of the activities that would happen that would really blow your mind off, sort of. Like when you were a young boy. Give me one. Let me see if you can think of it.
One example, man, that would blow my mind for Kudme. Hey, boy, let me see what
together, that awesome, that togetherness, for a common goal.
Which one?
You want me to help you?
Yes, help.
Okay, deals with a house, like a house, like a butcher.
This is a boot sham.
Like a house, yeah. Okay, Nigel, carrying the house,
Tell
taking
me.
it from one place to another place. Can remember
Oh,
when? Yeah, that was good, man, for you.
oh man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so you
yes,
feel
yes,
like if
yes.
you're zero there.
And
Well,
they would come. They would say 1,
yes,
2, 3, and they say, and why?
yes.
Everybody move
I
together.
sit up. Why is
Yeah.
I sit up, Nigel? Anyway, we good to it. I tell you, one of those days you have to have an entire program on this.
I think we've created our own dictionary.
Yes,
right?
yeah. Oh yes,
We've
of course, you have
created
our
our
own
own-
lexicon. Go,
Yes.
don't test us, you know.
We've done that very well.
Yeah,
Don't test us,
yeah.
man. You know,
Okay.
I sit up.
Next question. What do I ask you? So the Dominica flag is one of only 2 national flags with the color purple. Name the other country which has the color purple on its national flag.
Oh, somebody explain to me.
And you that long time. So I hope it's still
why
the same.
you would want to do that to me today? Today, Island Rosalie reunion finishing. We have Signal and Midnight Givers later tonight on the playing field. I haven't eaten breakfast. I'll all 2 o'clock, whatever. And she, wait. Somebody help me there.
But I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the answer is still correct. I can just remember. I can remember that back in the day.
Which other country has the color purple?
Purple on its
flag?
on its flag, and that's easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Easy peasy. That one not easy peasy. Now that one is lemon.
Okay, you want a clue? You want a hint?
Yeah, give me a clue.
The country, the first letter starts with N. The first letter is N, not starts with N.
The first letter
is N in the name of the country.
So the only country that probably is close enough that we can think of, I don't know,
I think you know
Nicaragua.
it. Yes, I know you know it. You know. Let me see. We'll give you the answer. If you see Alvin is all and they give you the answer, you'll see. Boy.
No, so yes, and they did not help me this morning. There's this detention for all of you. No one who helped me. Good morning to you, Alvin. You did not help me. Muriel, Stewart, good morning to you.
Okay.
You did not help
one
me
more.
either.
And then we bring
Yes.
on our guest. One more. Let
Make
me
it easier that one. If I can't say, I'm going to the guest to ask him.
I think you know something. They're even laughing.
What happened now?
Nigel, what is the best way to eat a kidney? You have to demonstrate. Where I am hot. Now.
Wait, Papa.
That one just came seriously. That came to my. You can just tell me. You don't need to show me. I don't play with. Yes, sir.
Yes.
You're the guest to help you.
And listen, when you can him sweet, yes. And I want to eat Kenny parade, you know. When you can him sweet is even better.
No, boy, I put on the guest. Anytime you want to come in, because that question there, boy, the best. Boy, good. Somebody give me a prize. Good question. Me, I can picture myself on a Kenny there with Nigel. Let me tell you something about the Jibo.
And by the way, is Kenny season already?
Yes, I have seen some. I'm not sure if it's sweet already.
Well, the good thing is if they bring a package for you this morning, I can still come and pick it up on Sunday, Monday, whatever.
So tell me, what is the best? By the way, you know some countries have a different name for Kenny. I remember.
Yes.
When I was in Jamaica, I think it was what they call Guinea or something like this.
Yeah,
Guinea in Grenada as well. I think too. You know, Guinea.
Yes.
Yeah, in some countries as well, it's called Spanish lime.
Yeah, I mean, and that in itself is interesting, right? I mean, depending on the Caribbean country or depending on where you are, it's the same fruit, same thing, but they call it a different name.
Okay, so what do you do? How do you eat the Kenny? You think I forget it now?
That's how you.
Just demonstrate. Just quickly. Just tell us the first step and then what happens.
Because the first step.
I have the guest on live, so if you want to help you, you can all come on.
I know. You see the trouble she want to put me in, Alvin.
How
yes,
do you eat? Well,
but anyway, you have to bite it. And after you bite it, you have to start sucking it. You have to yes, you bite it and you open it in two because you know you have the middle of the thing. So you bite the kernel, you break it open, you take off the green part of it. Or you leave one, actually not what we used to do. We would we would bite the kernip and remove the top part, so you're able to hold on to the bottom part still, because you can't have your hand go on the seed. So you'd hold the bottom part of the kernip and you'll start to suck. Yes. And then you would keep doing that until you reach to the seed. But the thing is, sometimes you're stuck in your teeth as well. So, but I haven't had a kernip for a while now. What's she saying? She's not talking to me, not you?
Hey, but look at me, my mic not on. Nigel was saying, some people chew everything at the end. Just chew everything.
The kernip that doing that to you, talking, you didn't know you're talking.
Maybe because I have a plastic of kernip, but I'm afraid to eat it. I'm not sure it's ready.
I'm on my way down.
All right. Whoosh, let's go on to Augustine. Nigel. By the way, what is the Creole word for kernip, guinep, or Spanish lime?
The Creole word for kernip is
yes. What's the Creole word?
The Creole name for kernip. I'm Noreen, if you want help, Kewana, if you want help me, what's the Creole word for kernip again?
It starts with the letter C. It starts with the letter C.
Hold on, man. Shoot. All that.
You want me to tell you?
That is the receptionist.
You want me to tell you? Anybody answering you? Anybody helping you out now?
Nobody.
You got wrong so again, man, Nigel.
Chenet. Okay.
Yeah, somebody tell you it's Chenet too. Yes, it's
somebody
Chenet.
tell me it's Chenet.
I'm not sure it's spelled. I think it's CHENET.
Thank you.
All right. Great.
Bobby Thomas also said Chenet, but she had a different spelling, so I couldn't figure. She said Chenny. Hey, Vado, good morning to you. Vado says Chenny. Okay. All right, Lauren, help me.
Chenet.
Current situation. Oh, she's at the funeral. Sorry.
Hey, Papa.
It's
Chenet. It's Chenet.
Sorry, Lauren. You're at the funeral, but you still have the phone, so you go.
Someone is saying, Alvin is saying, we used to roast the kernip seed as kids. Yes. We'd roast that. Everything, we'd eat everything except the skin, the peeling. Yeah, yes, but everything would be consumed.
Yes. Thank you, Muriel. I wasn't watching earlier because I was trying to get it from audience. And Vado, good morning to you as well. Yes, appreciate you. Alicia Griffith, she was early, no detention. Good morning. Yes.
Why is Miriam saying so long we told you?
We have to have a,
Miriam Stewart is saying so long we told you. You see, actually, let's get help,
Yes, but I was not paying
attention. And I suspect Alicia Griffith was helping you as well.
Yes.
You see when you're not paying attention in class. Okay. Miriam, I was not paying attention in class.
Where's our guest from, Nigel? The last question, and we just go on to our guest. Where's our guest from? Is it Rosalie?
Well, Mr.
Do you remember?
He might have a little East in him, so...
A little what? Oh, East.
From the East, man.
Yes,
from the East, Southeast area. I think he might be from either Dalis or who knows, Rosalie. But I'm going to say
yourself, you know. Yeah, he's from Dalis. He's from Dalis.
Yes. Augustine's are Dalis people.
I need to get your question here. You really can't answer, because most times you can answer the question, you just want to play wrong. But I know you know the answer to the question. But anyway, it's time to bring on our guest.
Yes.
So Nigel can go and take a snooze and then back in the action.
Right away.
Yeah. But really, it's a pleasure.
After this, I'm going to have breakfast. I hope they hold a plate for me. And then after breakfast, I'll go catch a couple of hours.
Yes. Look, Carl Kofi James is saying the seed is actually the healthiest part of the fruit. You serious?
Thank you, Kofi.
Well, we still roast that. Boy, let me tell you something. Anyway, we can have a whole program just on kennips. But I'll pass. My days of...
But you never knew when you go and eat one of the kennips and it's sour, man, and then you're already done by eating.
I like the Jimbo as well. I like the Jimbo.
After you eat 4 or 5, you have thing in your mouth. What do you call it? It's feeling like it wasn't him for
it. What is Lalwi now? Something Lalwi.
Yeah, man.
Like when it, I know. I can't
remember. You know what I'm talking about? Yes.
Lagly.
I remember. Something.
What I can remember is that we had fun with kennips. I was living right next to a kennip tree on Queen Mary Street, now Independence Street. And I can tell you a lot about kennips. We had kennip trees all around.
Blows on kennip for you, right?
Blows on kennip. Lunch, breakfast, dinner. We never made kennip juice though on those things, but...
We never had kennip juice.
No. Oh, you got me Kenny juice now. You have to.
I don't know. Anything is possible.
Nah, that's too much work, man. Kenny juice. Just put that in your mouth and just consider it done. But time to bring on our guest. It's Yes, so it's a pleasure, Nigel, to bring on our guest. It's his second appearance on Connecting the Dots. We had him already. He shared a very, very powerful message when we had him the last time. He has stayed true to his word that he wants to network with people here and overseas. And he'll tell us more about that, with the aim of really providing opportunities for Dominicans. All of this obviously is deeply rooted in an Assam project. Assam, which means together, by its very definition, speaks of just that, togetherness, So we want to explore this Assam movement, Nigel, and so that's why I brought up in the Connected the Dots, what's his name, Nigel? When I say my son, man, what is his name?
Kenny on your mic.
Oh my goodness, what do we call it? The Dominica Corner? Oh no, something is wrong with me. Anyway, so I brought up Assam because it isn't just a word. It is the heartbeat of the community, so to speak. In Creole culture, it embodies so much. It embodies survival, togetherness, unity, united, and all of that.
Yes.
So it's really a pleasure to bring on our guest, Dennis Augustine. Your turn, Nigel. Bring him on.
Yes.
In your tired self.
Dennis, give me 1 second here, because somebody mentioned something that it remind me of, they say about the Jimo.
Yes, I mentioned Jimo as well. You didn't hear me, man? Oh, my mic was off.
No, I didn't hear that part. Okay,
I said about the Jimo. It's very sweet, yes.
Oh, okay. That's the twins. All right. Yes, Mr. Dennis, appreciate you. Thank you for reconnecting with us again and for sharing on what's going to happen. One of the activities that they had here for the Monjon reunion, reunion, was a networking night, networking and mentorship night. And I thought about someone like yourself, who would have been great as one of the panelists. On sharing on what we need to do in terms of mentorship and networking with each other and being able to collaborate and share best practices and everything else. So you're well suited for that. So welcome again. We appreciate you joining us one more time on Connecting the Dots. Good morning to you, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing really great. Am I on right now?
Oh yes, you're loud.
Oh, very good. I saw the light and I didn't know whether or not.
Oh yes, you're on. You were on, because you were hoping that you would chime in and help Nigel on the
my
Dominica
goodness.
Corner.
I would have talked to Nigel.
That's what I said.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I would have helped him for real. Yeah, man.
Definitely. I wasn't sure if you know about Kenny, but I said.
I know about Kennip, Nigel. I mean, I went to DBS and, people selling Kennip on the way up to DBS, you said the right thing. You take a little bit of a bite, you use the cup at the bottom, and, you suck that. And if Ivona is correct, it's too much of a pain to make juice out of that, man. They don't have flesh for juice.
Man,
well, you're gonna need 50 Kennip for a cup of juice?
No, man.
That's not going to work.
Okay, by the way, they said they're not.
Oh, they're not seeing it. My bad, but Nigel, just tell me that. No, boy, my bad.
You're not missing anything. You're not missing anything.
Only thing is the flyer.
I need to have a shirt like Nigel's. Dean gonna have to fight me for Nigel's shirt.
Dean is gonna have to fight you for that one.
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
Nigel is styling, but it's such a pleasure to be closing the loop a year later. I think some of what we talked about, and honestly, this show really inspired a lot of what happened to me in the intervening year. And I think the show is so aptly named, Connecting the Dots, and that, I think, as well, helped us to choose the name Ensemble for the platform that we're building at the DX Alliance, because the more over this last year, I've spent a lot of time in Dominica, and it's really the heartbeat of Dominica is that connection, that as Cecil and the Brain talk about, that laku, that grassroots thing. And I think that's the strength of this Caribbean and the strength of Dominica, and really leaned into it. So it's such a great time to be back here and to, I guess, report back on the year. And I want to thank DBS again for the opportunity. I've got my radio sea legs here at DBS with listening to Ivona and learning from Ivona and Cecil and Nigel and Brain over here. So great, and I'm looking forward to this conversation.
All right. Nigel must have Cecil and Brain on a program, we?
Yeah, man.
I think we should bring them on as guests.
I think we should.
Yes.
And Kiwana as well.
You know?
Yeah, man.
Yes. Sunday Discoveries on DBS. We should bring them on as well as our guests and connect. Let's connect with them.
Yeah, man. Let's connect together. I think we should. We should do that soon.
We should.
Brain, Cecil, Ivona, Kiwana, Nigel, Bell, Luke
Powerhouse.
Luke Story.
That show wouldn't end, man.
No, that
show cannot end.
Oh
my God,
my goodness.
That's conversations for days.
Yes. Some lovely conversations would take place, you know. But yeah, Dennis, I mean, it's good to have you back on again. Like you said, trying to put everything together. We had you maybe like a year ago, maybe some months ago too as well. And this Assam. But even before we get there, for those who are probably did not catch the first part of the program, or when we had you on the first time around, just a general idea, you know, I mean, what part of Dominica is Dennis from, and just a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Well, I am where the wise men come from the east, in Dalis. That's where I originate from. My family, the Augustines, the Etiennes, you know, and on the other side here, my Auntie Fevrier and those folks. I hope some of them are listening today as well. So from Dominica, from the East Coast, but as a young man, also Maho made me. You know, my parents, after we went to Canada for a number of years and came back when I was about 14 years old, we planted ourselves in the village of Maho, where my father and mother grew the Maho Gospel Tabernacle, and then founded a mission at the foot of Campbell Road, where the Feed My Sheep and the Maho Gospel Tabernacle have been there for about 40 years, serving the needs of the community. And so that's where I'm from. But from Dalis, the accent is from Canada. The accent is definitely Canadian. The heart definitely is Dominican in many ways. I love Canada. As a proud Canadian, we had Canada Day July 1st, and we aired actually live to air on the podcast. One of the first guests we had on the new show on DBS, David Matherin, one of the brethren from the DX Alliance, now living in Canada. He was on. He was on there as well. But from Dalis, and David and I and other Canadians, we love Canada. But, you know, Nigel, there's nothing quite like feeling loved and welcomed in a place where everybody remembers you and knows you. And there's nothing like being home again.
Most definitely. There's nothing like home. I can feel it, you know?
Yeah, man.
So in terms of, I mean, you know, the journey that you've had, Dalis, Maho, Canada, everything else, I guess you've been able to see both sides of the world, and if you want to put it that way.
Yes.
How do we see us positioning ourselves? And we'll get to that a little bit later on. Mm-hmm. But just initially, how do you see us positioning ourselves to take advantage of those both sides of the world?
Well, this show is a great example of that. It's about that connection. I think there are under 60,000 people here in Dominica. So many more times that abroad as well, in the diaspora. And there's a great deal of capital wealth, human wealth and connection. There are so many people, and I was beginning to say earlier on how I love being Canadian, love Canada, but Canada cannot love me the same way that I love Canada. I'm never going to belong there in the same way. By reminding people of that, and right here in Roseau, there's a little bit of a Dominican Republic rum shop in the corner before you get to the buses. And I was sitting there drinking a drink, and there's a sign there, somebody spray painted, "Come back home." And I think we need to broadcast that out to all of the Dominicans in the diaspora. Whether you physically come back home, or you have virtual ties here, or you have economic ties. I do some work in digital finance, and there are, I spoke to one credit union where they have almost as many accounts in the credit union as they do people on the island. I wondered how that was possible. Well, so many of those accounts are people in Canada, the US, the UK, around the world as well. So there's a great deal of practical strength in realizing those diaspora connections. There's a great deal of human wealth and potential that is in that diaspora, and that's why shows like this and the Ensemble movement, I think, are so important as well.
Very interesting.
Definitely. So very, very, yes. So keeping that connection, man. And of course, we're going to get into Assam and what it's all about and the digital currency, because this is something that's, I guess, beginning to take root a lot more now. People are beginning to be aware a little bit more now about digital currency and cashless economies now and cashless transactions and all that kind of good stuff, you know. But how do you, as someone who lived in Canada, of course, and for those who are living outside of Dominica resident, how do you feel that it's to keep that connection whilst you're out of Dominica?
Checking in. I mean, listening to this show, checking in with your people, coming physically to see us, having vibrant associations in places like Toronto. Shout out to my friend Francis Del Sol, who gave me some advice on my way here to Dominica and to the region a few years ago. A vibrant Dominica, Commonwealth of Dominica Association in Toronto. I know that there's others throughout the Caribbean and throughout the North America and Europe and around the world as well. So stay connected to your community. I think that it's easy to get wrapped into the life of the big cities, these other countries and everything else, and then you lose track of some of the things that made you. And I am...
Good morning.
Yes. And I'm really very much reminded about that all the time here. You know, I see when I sit down, you know, with the fellows at the domino table in Maho, so many of I understand why. You know, I love to argue, by the way, Nigel.
You love to what?
I love to argue, man.
Okay.
I love to argue, and I think I got that. I think I got that from the vibe down in Mount. We argue in good fun, you know, around the table and stuff like that. But you see some of these things. You see some of the especially as a young man who got some of his start there and then was transported. Some of the reasons why you don't quite fit into that Canadian culture, you always feel a bit of a stranger, has to do with some of the things I got in Maho, in Daly, some of those attitudes. So I think it's really important for us, and especially friends like my friend David. We're around the same age, he's a few years ahead of me. He's just now a grandfather. And while he was brought from St. Lucia, you know, to Canada, and he is fond for St. Lucia, his children don't have the same connection to St. Lucia that he did. And certainly his grandchild is going to see it more as a destination than some place that they're from. So I think maintaining those community ties wherever you are is super important for people abroad as well.
All right.
It is.
That's a good place to
and
start.
Especially for those of the younger generation as well. Yes.
Especially. We had, you know, last year when I was here, it was just a few months after my mother passed. And during that time, some of our family from the U.S. came for her funeral. And there was one young cousin who had been to Dominica, like I don't think she'd actually been to Dominica before. It was her first time. Do you know Ivona, the lady left with a Dominica tattoo on her shoulder? She was just blown away just by what she found here. They brought her to the river, they brought her to Daly's, they brought her around to see the sights, but she just left with this sense of, wow, this is where I was made, this is where I'm from. She left with a love for Dominica that she didn't know before. And this place can really grow on you. So yeah, those are especially for the next generation. If you are part of that second generation Windrush Canadian U.S. person, yeah, bring your kids. Let them understand where they're from, where they get some of that cultural things that you're trying to impart on them. Let them see it for themselves.
Interesting. I'm hearing something coming through, or someone coming through. I'm not sure but anyway, it's not really disturbing. It's coming up louder now. Oh, Nigel is you. It's where you are probably. It's okay.
Me. Yes, it's me. Yes, it's a few of the workers who came in to change the shift.
All right,
so, that's okay.
All right, that's okay. That's okay. We can take that. We can accept that. All right.
Yes, we can deal with that part for now.
Yes, and especially as you're wearing a beautiful shirt today, so it's okay.
man.
Yeah, well, so you'll give me a pass.
Yeah.
What size are you, Nigel? What size are you?
Nigel is like
I'm just
an
wondering. I'm just curious.
You want to make sure we can fit.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I think it's going to fit you well.
I think so. I think it would look good. I think it would look good.
I think it will look good on you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I like the shirt, seriously. The shirt has something in it, like togetherness. You see all
my
the
God!
colors
It
together.
even has the ensemble colors going, man.
Energy.
It has a theme. It has everything going along with it. Most definitely so.
Yes. So save that shit for me as well. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll see how many of yes. Looking at it now, looking good for true.
Yeah, it looking
For real,
good. It says a lot. It's like it embodies joy, survival, and everything nice.
I just looking at it now, it's looking really good.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Elise, for getting Nigel a good shirt. Pretty shirt.
It's a pretty shirt.
Yeah.
Yes,
all right.
Yes,
so
it is. It is. So yes, I'm back to Dennis now and the shirt. But so for those of us, Dennis, because one of the things that I said we're hearing a lot about now is this. The digital economy, but we also hear about digital currency and cashless purchases and transactions and all that kind of good stuff. Just like in a kind of a nutshell, for those who might not be aware, when we talk about digital currency, what is it that we're talking about?
Well, we're talking about the means for you to be able to transact electronically without carrying cash, right? That's at its core. That's what we're talking about. But we're also talking about the ability for you to send and receive money in and out of where you are electronically. At the end of the day, for example, when you hear something like the World Bank, loans Dominica $20 million, no ship with $20 million comes to Dominica and drops it off at the port, right? What happens is somebody types into a system, you now have $20 million, it's entered into an electronic ledger, and the central bank at the ECCB assigns some money to the bank account of the nation, and we have $20 million. That was all electronic, and it has been electronic for many, many, many years. But now we're also putting it in the hands of consumers. So you have your devices here, your phones that you can tap things. You have your cards where you can tap. You can buy things online. All of these things. And one of the things that, let me bring it right back down to earth here in Dominica, where we have so much of our economy that's dependent on things like tourism. Most of the money that comes in most of the potential money that comes in through the cruise ships, over 70% of that doesn't stay in this island, right? That's a stat right across the region. Okay, it goes to the tour ship companies and so forth. And when you go down to the bayfront and you see all of those vendors there, and somebody comes off of the tour ship and they see something that they like, and I want to buy that. Do you take card? No, I don't take a card. You have to give me EC. Maybe you have to give me US. I don't have dollars. You miss that opportunity and it's gone, right? That's one reason why it's so important, because the opportunities of the tourists who are here. The other thing that you miss is the intelligence, because if you're able to track where people are spending the money, you know where to invest so that you can capture more of that money when they're here. And on some podcast that I recorded just 2 days ago with Craig Nesty, and we'll air that hopefully next week, we talked about things like gathering data from people on their cell phones who visit the island so that we know what they're doing and where to invest. Very practical for Dominicans here. But also there's one other area where it becomes very, very, very practical. Let's say that you're a young person, or maybe even a 57-year-old tech professional who wants to work for North American customers or regional customers, and you need to get paid. How do you get paid? They have to pay you electronically, online. So these are some of the ways that it helps to bring in foreign exchange. It helps to reduce the barriers for us to be able to work remotely, for us to be able to sell our products to other places in the region. That's why it's so vital. So I'll shout out right now as well my friends on the Caribbean Digital Finance Alliance. I'm on the executive committee there. I'm one of the founding members of the executive committee of that place, and we're really focused on making sure that that digital finance is accessible and easy for every small vendor. So whether you are somebody selling something at the market, you should be able to take a digital payment, a tap, scan a QR code, have that money arrive in your credit union on your national bank account. So we need to fix those gaps, and there's a number of us in the region and here in this island. I'll shout out Anthony Edwards and Shop DM and Shop DM Pay, who are doing things about that today.
Mm-hmm. And when you think of it and you consider what we had before, long before this, digital currency came into being, I mean, just imagine traveling back in the day when that was not, something that we knew about.
Right.
Way back when, and you say you're traveling to England, because a lot of times we would visit England or wherever, and you have so much cash with you. You have all your little dollars and your $5 and
Right.
notes and all of that. And no, it is so simple now, and that is a giant step forward for us. And I think it's important that people who have not bought into it, maybe the older ones, can try their best, because there are simple ways.
I'm good. How you
Obviously,
doing?
that yes, they can at least make that start.
Absolutely.
Nigel, I got a distraction there from you. Nigel, I don't know, but anyway. But I was just talking about, Nigel, the fact that back in the day when we went, was not digital currency, what we had to go through, and then probably
Right.
when you're traveling, you have to go with a lot of cash. You'd go through the airport. Sometimes you have to remove your purse and show them all your and all of that. I mean, that's a thing of the past now. It's simple.
Not
It's on
only
the
that,
go.
you have
It's
to
convenient.
divide the cash accordingly. Put
Yes.
put some in the briefcase, some in that, some in that, some in that.
It's so convenient now. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's so convenient now.
And one of the other things that's really important about digital currency here in the Caribbean is we transact with each other so much in US dollars, right? What that really means is that we're also beholden to the US politically, because they can turn off that tap anytime they would like. So we have things like stable coins or baskets of coins that contain things like an Eastern Caribbean dollar, a Trinidadian dollar, a Jamaican dollar, and you can use these electronic bits of currency to transact with each other around the region in something that's not a U.S. dollar, so that we have less risk for U.S. monetary or political kind of policy as well. So I think it's really important. I think we're seeing more and more of that in 2025 and 2026 than we have in any other year. These next few years are not like any other that we have ever had in this region. So I think it's really important for us to start to embrace things like the digital currency and electronic ways of doing things that are owned by Caribbean people. Otherwise, we're vulnerable.
So now that's a teacher we have here. So we have to look at the book very often, because sometimes there are questions people want answers for.
Yes.
So
Most definitely.
So we'll be asking him a lot of
course.
questions from the book and the tube as well.
Yes.
Yes, Nigel, but you were saying?
Terrence Samuel, of course, listening from St. Lucia. How are you doing, my friend? Says good morning from St. Lucia. Creole Queen Fervier says content creators take notes, which is very important for that. Very interesting one there from Alvin Bernard. Hey, good morning to you, Alvin.
Yeah, man.
He says in a 100% cashless economy, the essence of control and independence. Governments are known to use this control to stifle political speech that is not consistent with their point of view and all that this implies. So I guess in a sense, is there more risk involved, Dennis, in this cashless digital currency than we have previously, where we can actually see our money? Because, with the digital situation, I guess you're not seeing it. You're just, transacting and so on. But is it a situation where before, I give you $10, I can see you give me back my $5 change, or, I'm just trying to bring it down as best I can in a practical thing. So is there more risk involved in the digital currency than it would have been in one way you actually have the physical money?
Well, I'll say, Nigel, the greatest risks that we face are not with the $10 transactions. All right. The greatest risks that we face in this region are things like being debanked because we're high risk economically. And that has to do with things like when you have a cash transaction, that's not traceable. When I give somebody $10 cash, I don't know. And our brother Bernard here, he's brought up a very good point in terms of government control and whatnot. But I'll also say let's turn the flip side of that. When you have the ability to transact with digital currencies, I can also do a peer-to-peer transaction. So I can just, supposedly, now hypothetically, if Nigel has a supported application on his phone or a supported wallet, I could transfer from my wallet to Nigel's wallet, and the government is not involved in that transaction. Now, what is involved in that transaction is what you call metadata. So there are some bits of metadata where forensically, after the fact, if there was some kind of a crime or a financing of terrorism or the sorts of things that make our banking system so difficult, when you go to the credit union or the bank and you have to fill out all of this paperwork, and you think, why are they asking little me for all of this for a simple bank account? It's because the narrative around the world is the Caribbean and all of these places in the global south. Let's say it plainly, black and brown people are high risk for things like, terrorism and drugs and etc. But if we can prove through the little bits of metadata that are in our financial transactions that we are not, we build an environment of trust, an environment then where you can start to invest in. So I think I would say to our brother Alvin that there are things like peer-to-peer transactions where the government's not involved at all. There are things like cryptocurrency transactions where the government is not involved, but that the traceability of that helps us to reduce things like crime, fraud, and I know that one of the things that is a big topic around the region and people like to talk about with regards to our people is things like political corruption. Well, when you have digital transactions and you deal less with cash and you deal more with electronic transactions, I can connect the dots. If I want to use your word, I can connect the dots to be able to understand what's happening so that I can have a more trustworthy financial system. And I think a trustworthy financial system is something that helps every citizen at the end of the day.
With everything obviously there are downsides.
Of course.
High market volatility, and other risks that are involved. So let us go there.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the biggest risks, Ivona. There would have been something in the U.S. That was brought in by the current administration called the Genius Act. And, first of all, disclaimer, I do not speak for our government, or these are my opinions and my observations. But the Genius Act opened the door for a lot of the digital cryptocurrency transactions that we see in schemes that I'll say that we see in the U.S. right now. The current president of the U.S. has made billions of dollars personally, hundreds of billions of dollars personally. At the same time, the investors in the same digital wallets lost an equivalent amount. So when I saw that legislation coming in and the doors being flung wide open without the necessary controls and accountability, it sent a signal that unfortunately has led to be a real thing, where we're seeing some of the largest upward transfers of wealth in history happening right now because of the lack of accountability and legislation. And this is where we have to, I think, understand the power of, first of all, the people and the pen. Because the people are the ones who have to hold those who hold the pen accountability, and it's accountable, and it's the pen that writes the legislation that controls our financial systems, that prevents the transfer of wealth away from the people to those at the top. So we really need to start to understand things like digital finance and ask for laws that have accountability baked into them, that have audits baked into them, so that we know when I tax dollar goes here, it goes there, it ends up at the project, and this person got paid and they did the work, so that there's a trail there. And that's the sort of thing that digital can do. If you were trying to do that with cash, Nigel, our brother Alvin Bernard, who's criticizing that aspect, yes, government control on the one hand, but if you're having a lot of cash transactions, you have no accountability, and they can do whatever they want with the cash. So I think he should really rethink that a little bit and give the digital finance a chance. I'll also say it's the largest part. Digital is the largest part of the global economy. And so if we're not participating in what is the largest part of the global economy, we're just not in the game.
So just as you mentioned that, this person here says, Alan Pierre, of course, says, I read an article some time ago that in the next 5 to 10 years, there will not be any more cash transactions. My only concern is for the elderly and how they will be able to cope with this change. So that kind of ties it in as well, Dennis, to the fact that, I want to mention when we traveled before, the older generation had to have their money in their suitcase and this and that and that. With the digital currency, obviously, you have to be a bit more, I'm going to have to say who, but you have to be a bit more
tech savvy.
No, tech savvy. Right? So as Alan is saying here, how does that help out the older generation as it relates to them now?
Well, I think from a policy and just a practical perspective, it's going to be a long time before we don't see cash.
I don't see digital currency.
I don't think it's going to be 5 to 10. I hope it's not that.
It's not. It's
probably going to be longer than that.
It's really not. I mean, I've been hearing that same thing. I've been in the tech space now for about 27 years. I've heard that for 27 years. Okay, and it hasn't happened yet. And I really don't see how the policies and especially the laws and the bureaucracies change in order for that to happen, even in 20 years' time.
I mean, digital currency obviously will reduce its usage. The usage of cash.
Yes.
We have seen it.
Yes.
But I don't see it happening anytime soon.
And there's very good practical, resilient reasons for cash. I was in Maho yesterday getting ready to record an episode, interestingly enough, with Chris Burns, the CEO of a Caribbean digital finance firm called PowerTrans, formerly First Atlantic Commerce. And the power went out in Maho. Okay, if the power went out in Maho and the internet went in Maho and I want to do a transaction, I don't have cash. I am out of luck, so you need cash. Cash is a redundant tool. Yes. It's a tool that you can use when the power goes out, when the internet is out. We're here in the Caribbean. I think we would be foolish to get rid of cash anytime soon.
I mean, anytime soon. Wired that way. Yeah. I mean, if I want my $2 scannips, what are you gonna?
Exactly. So no, I don't think we're going to get rid of cash anytime soon. We will see we'll see it increasingly go down. But I will also say my mother, who passed, in her 70s, would have been, just a few years ago considered, not too tech savvy. But when my mom passed, she had, she was on, interestingly enough, on Facebook before me, my mom. She had 2 phones. She was on WhatsApp. She know how to tap her card, and it's not a lot for your grandmother, for your auntie to understand. Take your card and put it on the machine. So I think we don't have to worry about our elders. The thing is that it's being made quite easy for them as well, as long as they can put the cash in the account at the bank or the credit union and go take their card and put it on the machine, they're okay.
Wow.
So you mentioned earlier as well, because this is very interesting, man. You mentioned earlier being part of the Caribbean finance grouping there. Do you find that in the rest of the Caribbean region, with your interaction with the Caribbean, do you find that there is a sort of a lack of a political will to get into digital currency more?
It is right now there's a seed change that is happening. It's becoming more and more of a hot topic. So the it's the Caribbean Digital Finance Alliance, so that's CaribbeanDigitalFinance.org or the CDFA. That's the organization I'm a part of. Early on, we did some webinars, and then we did some feedback on what's called a virtual assets bill in Trinidad. And that was around how do you handle these digital currencies, crypto and other things like that. That's coming up in places like Trinidad. Now it's happening in Barbados and other places as well. So this is a hot topic that's been happening just over the last few years. So the political will has been started. The things like the Genius Act and the understanding that we cannot be totally reliant on the U.S. dollar has awakened people for that. The current geopolitical climate has made it clear to our political leaders that if I need to transact with my neighbor or if I need to buy oil from a different place, I need to be able to transact in something that I'm not beholden necessarily to U.S. dollars all the time. How do I practically do that? And digital finance is a very practical way for that. So, so I think right now there is the political will. The awareness around the mechanisms needs to be a little bit more. I spoke a month before my mom passed in May of 2025 here at the Dominica State House just across the street at a compliance conference, and there was a lot of people from the regulators and from the banks and the credit unions, and I put my hand up and I said, is there any other people from digital in the space? And there was one other hand in a room full of people. So we had a disconnect between the people on the front end who are doing the regulation and at the front end of the counters at their banks and the bank management, and those who are doing the digital systems that could help them achieve that. So these are the things that we are just starting to do in these last 2 years. And it's been, actually, Nigel, I've been here back to the region for about 4 years. And there's been a real change over these last 4 years in terms of an awakening of the need to have sovereign Caribbean digital finance and social systems. And that's been largely something that's been forced upon us because of the geopolitics of the today. I don't have to tell you how stressed CARICOM is right now, right? CARICOM is getting pulled in all kinds of directions. It's getting pulled in the U.S. direction, in the Chinese direction, in the Indian direction. It's being told, Trinidad, go off on your own compared to, the Eastern Caribbean. This is a time where, over these last few years, we've just been forced into an awareness of it, and I'll say that we have to take it seriously now. 2025 and 2026 are not like any other year in the history of mankind. I will tell you this, and I'll say it again. It's not hyperbolic. It's not the same. Digital currency is changing rapidly. AI is changing rapidly. The geopolitics are changing rapidly. There's a tension between unity and nationalism, between globalism and nationalism. And we have to decide right now what we're going to do about that. I think that my answer to that is I'd rather connect the dots and do things on some than to do things in our own little silos. I think that's the healthier way, and I think that nature supports me in that conclusion as well.
But you have your plan for the ONSAM projects and other projects that you're involved in to help people better understand what this digital economy is all about.
Yeah, I'll say we. I mean, it's myself and the contributors at the DX Alliance. I'll plug that again. That's dxalliance.org. And ONSAM is ANSANM.org, onsam.org. And there's been many contributors to that. And over my last 4.5 years back in the region, I did a lot of listening, and I heard. I've been in digital for 27 years, mostly in Canada, like I said. And I asked, why aren't we doing better in digital? I used to be a minister, and I changed my life after I left the ministry with an internet connection and a willing mind. And I didn't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to do that here in the region, especially after Hurricane Maria. And when we, hopefully in a couple weeks' time, I'll air an episode I did with for the On Sound podcast here on the Nation Station DBS with Peter Ricketts. We did a two-parter that will air, and we talked about the impact of Maria, and I talked about that with Craig Nesty, who will air next week as well. And after Maria, I saw so many people in 2018 when I came back here young people who just wanted to leave, who wanted to go find something else, families who wanted to go. And but digital, I understood. You can make money online. You can make money doing things electronically. You don't have to build a factory for it. And why aren't we doing better? And I heard two things. I heard a lot that, we don't have the people and the skills to get the job done. And I heard that we don't collaborate and cooperate enough together. And here's a quiz, Nigel. One of those things is true, and the other thing is false. So which one is the true one?
Which one is the true one? I think we can get things done. We have what it takes to get it done.
We have. Well, thank goodness you said that, Nigel, because if you said we don't have the people was the true one, I'd say I'm sitting right here in Roseau, and I'm sitting right here in Roseau. Anthony Edwards is on island. Peter Ricketts is right here.
Yes.
We got people. Yes. We got people in the diaspora. We have people working here. We've got Mr. Dennis Nichols. I know who's moved on from DBS to Government Act. We've got a lot of people in the digital space. We do. As you mentioned, Anthony Edwards, because he was also here at the networking and mentorship event that they had here for the reunion, and people were quite surprised and alarmed that because everything was online, so the tickets that were purchased, the T-shirts that were purchased, everything was done for Shop DM. Yeah.
And people were amazed, I'm telling you, at the networking and mentorship at Mont John here, that this was a gentleman that was behind it, along with his partners, and he gave a nice brief presentation about the whole thing of digital and helping vendors and the delivery service that they're going to try and get going. Yeah. By the way, everyone, he's going to be one of our guests pretty soon.
Okay.
Nice.
So as you mentioned his name, the fact we do have the people here, they were presently surprised that this was a gentleman, trying to get this done as well.
So absolutely. So points to you. That we absolutely have the people to get it done. The problem is when I asked, where's the list of the people? There was no list.
Mm-hmm. So we have the people, and I can also mention that internet. We have internet hubs in Dominica.
Several
that promotes free digital education in several communities. I'm not sure what is the latest in that in terms of the response and how people are gravitating towards that, if they are. But we also have to make mention of that as well as
I'm part of a WhatsApp group mostly full of Dominicans. On that is Robbie Tong, who's part of that Caribbean digital transformation project, and he's been promoting those hubs and different sorts of projects and workshops. I'll say that they're undersubscribed, unfortunately. I mean that they're underused. They are good facilities. They're wonderful programs. We're not putting enough of our young people into them as we should, but they are there, and they have a path for young folks to be able to really transform their lives and their communities economically. So everybody listening, when Robert and other people at the Transformation Project put out calls for young folks to enroll in code camps or boot camps or to go to the innovation hubs, it's really important that we start to do that right now. The opportunities are still there for us, but they're not going to stay there for long, especially with things like AI taking more of that opportunity, and we need to carve out our own space now. So they're active, they're really valuable, they're doing great work. We just need more, especially the young folks, to get involved in them. And if you're even middle-aged, or even your 20s or whatever, I got into digital about the age of 28 after leaving the ministry, 29 years old. So, I mean, it's not too late for you to be able to learn something new and to open up yourself to a whole other realm of economic opportunity. So go to those places. participate.
Yeah.
All right.
What would you say, though, Dennis? Would you say that the resistance to the digital currency is more on those who are those who have to use it, or those who have to create the policy or the enabling environment for it to happen? Where's the resistance more coming from?
Well, with regards to the currency aspect, so far, I would say that the main thing is inertia. It's just inertia. It's just that I've been doing this thing for the same way for 20, 30, 40 years, and I don't see a reason why to change it. I think that's the main thing. It's just that it's not broke. Cash works for me. Why am I going to change anything? And that's a dangerous mentality when the world is changing rapidly around you. So I think it's been that, and we've also had very pressing practical issues. We have roles. We got to fix the electrical grid. We have to patch the roads. We need a health center here. We need this. So there's other priorities that take that away from us, and this is why when I came back to the region and I started, I met both inspiration and frustration, Ivona. I was inspired on the one hand, but then frustrated on the other hand, about the lack of progress. And then I realized that my frustration was just largely due to the fact that I was a bit of an idiot, in that I'm expecting that somebody else is going to do for us.
Do you think there's a significant resistance to central bank digital currency across the Caribbean?
No. I think that there is, in the central bank space, I think that there is an awareness that it must be done. It's just a question of how and what policies to put around it. In particular, there are concerns about your reserve levels. So after you go digital and you've had some very tight monetary controls, and it's getting a little technical here from a financial perspective, but you have to have a certain number of other dollars in your reserves to be able to hold the value of your own dollar. So you can't just let people send all of those out, or you have to watch the flow of that. So there are questions around how do we adapt the old regimes to make sure that we maintain stable digital policy. But I will say that one shining example has been the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the one that holds Dominica's dollars. The ECCB has been innovating. We had some, issues with the whole digital cash before, but they have been innovating from a policy perspective. It's something that's high on their list. We've had good participation at the CDFA with people from the ECCB as well. So again, it's something that's just starting to change. But aside from digital finance, I think that the other part is just digital services and products and all those kinds of means. Digital services, digital products make up another huge part of that digital economy that we need to take advantage of. And I think that there has just not, again, it's been inertia. It's been, we're about agriculture, we're about tourism. We've always been about this, about that. And it's about time that we start to break that mentality and see that there is, we're missing out on the largest part of the global economy. When you watch the U.S. inauguration back in 2020, that one, the most recent one, more than $1 trillion worth of personal net worth. And by now it must be more than 2 trillion, 3 trillion, because Elon Musk is a trillionaire himself, of net worth was represented in one photograph, right? And all you need is an internet connection. You don't need to build a factory. You don't need to build an airport, a factory, anything to be able to participate in digital. So I think we need to raise awareness, and that's why I'm constantly preaching this gospel here.
Of course, yes. The more we know, the better.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah. Yes,
If you're listening and you're not sure who is speaking, we have our guest on Connecting the Dots, Dennis Augustine, a native of Dalis, right?
Yes.
And Maho, you always say Dalis and Maho.
Yeah, I think almost more Maho than Dalis. I'm proud to be from Dalis because I love my dad's tagline about the wise men coming from Dalis, and I remember grinding toloma in my grandfather's mill in Carib with fond memories and my grandmother there. But as a young man going to DGS, 13.
The Dominica
14.
Grammar School, yes.
Yeah, but
Actually, you heard that, right?
You don't necessarily have to say it. You can, like, that part. You
I have to say it's DGS. If it was.
Yeah, you can skip that part.
He understands your assignment. It's okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dupany House. Dupany, but.
Dupany is green. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
But as a young man going to.
Say it again.
Sorry?
Yeah, you can say it again, it's all right.
What, Dupany House? That was Dupany House, the great Dupany House over at DGS. I really kind of got shaped there because that's where my father, Pastor Sam Augustine, built the mission building at the foot of Camp Bell Road. I remember trying to impress the grown men as a little skinny boy, rolling up wheelbarrows of cement. Watching my father interact with the men in the local community in Maho, that really kind of set, I think, more of my, who I am. So, I think I'm very much from Toronto, Mississauga, and Maho. If I had to say a couple places,
okay. Yeah, thank you for that. So, Nigel, we have other places to go. We have to look at the awesome movement and feed my sheep and other things as well. We also have to just take a short station ID or program ID more so.
Hey, yo, this is your Rebel Rocker Kofi, and you're tuned in to Connecting the Dots with the original Queen, Ivona, and His Majesty Nigel. So keep it locked, because here we connect the dots. That's what we do.
Nigel, I'm going to edit this and take out His Majesty.
His Majesty Nigel.
Well, you could probably add His
Excellency.
Majesty and put something after Majesty as well.
Okay, all right, it's okay.
You don't have to take off Majesty.
all right.
Well, yeah, there is. I mean, we don't have to. And by the way, the person who asked, I think you probably just got an idea because someone was asking earlier, who is your family in Maho? Okay. But I think you probably just kind of gave them an idea as to the family connection in Maho.
Yes.
And we didn't necessarily go there because we had you previously where we went through that story and through that journey. But I'm glad you mentioned it as well. So to that person on Facebook who wanted to know what's your connection to Maho, I hope that helped you out in that connection as well.
Yeah. Pastor Sam and Lena Augustine, my parents.
Okay, so you got that one.
Yeah.
Wallace Sensele, good morning to you. He says, whilst it's true that digital currency has benefits in terms of making transactions easier, we must admit that there are a myriad of drawbacks to it as well. So can you speak to that? That's what they wanted to find out because, like we said, digital currency is what's going to happen, man. We have to just prepare for it, right?
Yes.
So there are lots of benefits that you spoke about, but they're saying you haven't mentioned some of the drawbacks yet. What are a few?
Yeah, well, I think I have. I think
I asked that question specifically.
And I'll emphasize
more so.
I'll emphasize again. I think, like I said, we've seen it in the wake of the Genius Act in the U.S. We've had one of the largest upward transference of wealth from people who were betting on some of these meme coins up to the people who had created the companies who created those meme coins. So while, for example, Trump has made hundreds of billions of dollars on his meme coin, the early investors have lost that equivalent amount. And it's because of a lack of regulation that protects the consumer. So that is the risk of digital currency. The risk of digital currency is not thinking through the policy and regulation that protects the consumer. In any system, you have to have rules that protect the weakest person in the system, right? The people on the ground. And unless we do that, it is ripe for abuse. Cash is ripe for abuse, but when you digitize corruption, you have corruption at scale. When you digitize accountability, you have accountability at scale. The digital part is not the problem. It's the design of the system. So you must look at how you design the system and the rules so that you create a fair playing ground for everybody. So I think that is the drawback of digital is the potential for doing corruption and crime and things at scale. but you combat that by having thoughtful conversations and having responsible people make the rules and having the public participate in the discussions and learning to understand what it means for them. Yeah.
What about situations, Dennis? Because I know we mentioned the ECCB had at some point in time tried to introduce,
Yes.
I guess, the digital cash and so on.
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't take as much root as it probably should have.
Yeah.
Maybe something they're revisiting.
Yes.
But what do you say to people who because maybe the banks, might probably get on board earlier than the credit unions, or maybe the payday loans like, a Big Edge or Fast Cash and those. How do they get involved in terms of being part of that digital space, digital financial space?
Well, first of all, I would say go to CaribbeanDigitalFinanceAlliance.org. The CDFA it's headquartered in Barbados. We have an exceptional executive committee, people from the banking sectors, regulators, all kinds of folks who are part of that membership. The membership will soon be opening officially, so we've just gotten the bank accounts and the board set up of that. So go to CaribbeanDigitalFinance.org. If you are a regulator, a bank, or just somebody who wants to understand the space, if you are somebody who does code and you want to create digital solutions, you're a person who wants to follow in the footsteps of somebody like Anthony who wants to create solutions that are fit for your local market or for other small towns in Canada, the US, around the world, go there and just keep being involved in the conversation. Equally as important about knowing your stuff is knowing the people involved in it, because at the end of the day, finance is a game based on trust, and trust is built on familiarity, and familiarity is based on relationship. So you have to get involved. So that's what I would say to those folks, and to those who might be listening nationally. Reach out to me. So with your credit union, bank, whatever space you might be in there, just reach out to me at dennis@dxalliance.org, and I'm happy to have a conversation with you and to make some connections because you need to get involved in the game.
Nigel, we need to have other educational programs on this, Nigel. I'm just thinking.
Oh yes.
Yes. I think we should plan something, and we'll see how it goes. But yes, we have to bring this discussion, this discussion more to the fore every time. On connecting the dots, once in a while, not every time, but once in a while, obviously, it's important.
Yes.
Dennis has a very interesting program on DBS Radio.
We connect the dots, and he has a program on
Thursday.
DBS as well,
yes,
right?
on a Thursday. So he speaks a lot about this. We don't want to really. I don't want to really stop on digital currency, but there are other things obviously that we want to talk about. And I'm looking at the comments and the questions, and a lot of people are into this, and I'm very happy about that. I'm well encouraged, Nigel, that we should have maybe like a panel discussion or something with other players, in that movers and shakers in that aspect, and we can see how we can broaden the discussion.
Agreed with that one. Yes, definitely.
But I wanted to look at, because Dennis is also involved in the Assam project. We mentioned that earlier. We want to see what is being done. We want to find out from him rather what is being done, because as we said earlier, Assam is not just a word. It's more than a word. It is the heartbeat of a community.
Yes.
And when we understand what Assam means, we'll really appreciate what Dennis is doing with a few people as well. In that movement. So Dennis, we can go to the Assam project now. Or Nigel, you have a burning question again on the digital currency?
Well, I will make my other burning question as part of the Assam. So that's okay.
Okay,
so,
all right. Okay, all right. So,
all right.
Yes, so tell us about this project, Dennis.
Yes, ANSAM, ANSANM, means together, as we've already said in Creole. You can go to ansam.org. We're calling it's a platform. So ANSAM is a online software platform. It's what we call a community operating system. If you've never heard that term before, it's because we made it up. Because we understand if you have a computer, you have an operating system, on your computer. If you have Mac, or you might have a PC, you might have a Microsoft operating system on your computer. If you have a phone, you might have an Android operating system on your phone, or an iOS operating system on your phone. But what you also have on your phone and on your computer is other applications on top of that operating system that deliver value to you in other ways, that help you do your email or chat with your friends on WhatsApp. These are applications on top of that. Well, what we're doing with Ensemble is to create a community operating system in the online space. So you can go to the site, you can sign up. Very much like we talk about social media, but I don't like to use the term social media because, quite honestly, I think that social media is what I call a contradiction in terms. It's oxymoron. It's something that's not really true. Over the last 20-ish years that we've had Facebook and other places, I guess it's been almost that long, hasn't it? It's been a long time.
Yep.
It's been very antisocial. It's been sociopathic media because it's been controlled by corporations and designed to weaponize your attention to get you to do things that appeal to the darkest side of our characters, that divide us, that segment us, that try to get us to buy things that we don't need. That is the sociopathic end of it. What we're doing is we're re-engineering how we connect people digitally so that the communities are owned by the people in the communities, that it's built from the ground up, and that's what Ensemble is about. But aside from that application later, that operating system, one of the applications we're putting on top of Ensemble in partnership with Caribbean Export, so the Caribbean Export Development Agency, the Inter-American Development Bank, who's helping to fund some of the aspects of that, our partners at Cloud Carib, the University of the West Indies, of course my colleagues at the DX Alliance and others, is a marketplace for digital professionals. And this is the powerful economic part. Nigel, when you answered the question, the problem, the false thing that I heard was we don't have the people throughout the region. The true thing was we don't collaborate enough. Well, Ensemble is the answer to both of those things because it's about having the list of people and a community of people who provide services, who have expertise. Also, the small and medium businesses in the Caribbean who are also on the platform. So both the supply and the demand of digital skills in the same platform. And not only keeping that with the MSMEs, as micro, small, medium enterprises throughout the Caribbean, but also making sure we involve digital professionals like my friend Arthur Pemberton there in Florida, Canadian, DX Alliance contributor Jovan Aline in Toronto, people from all over the region on the same platform so that we have both the supply and the demand. And we sell into North America, we sell into Europe, those services. And then we transact that so that you can be in Dominica, you can be in Trinidad and Barbados, in St. Lucia, and earning US dollars, earning international euros, international rates. A beginning software engineer just a few years ago would have been something about $70,000, $70,000 US. It's good money. It's a bit of a guaye in Toronto if you want to try to make your life on $70,000. But if you're making $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 US a year and you're living in Dominica, St. Lucia, Barbados, that's transformative. And that's the sort of thing that we can do if we start to understand the power of selling those sorts of services. So we're collaborating with all of those people to create the marketplace. And if you are a software developer, a project manager, somebody who does user experience design, graphic design, if you're a content writer because you know those websites need people to write the content for them, all of those sorts of things. If you're somebody who understands business, you understand your space, go on the Ensemble platform, register yourself, register your company, register your small business if you want to digitize what you're doing and sell throughout the region or around the world, and get onto that platform, because together we can do it. If you go to Ensemble, you'll see the tagline that we've adopted there, Nous Seyon. Once you understand how connected we are and can be, and how connected this nation is to the international financial system, you start to see the opportunities by us collaborating together so that we can sell services into North America, we can sell services around the world, we can bring in those foreign exchange dollars. They don't have to come in on a plane or on a cruise ship. They can come in just by me doing a solution for somebody with my team, some of them in Barbados, some of them in Canada, some of them in Dominica. And so I did a solution for a ski resort town in Calgary, Alberta, paying people in the Caribbean, doing stuff for somebody in Calgary. You know, our team, some of whom are in Toronto, me here in Dominica, doing work for a financial institution here in Dominica, all together. That's the kind of power that we have that we're trying to achieve with the Ensemble project. And then beyond that, because it's a community operating system, we also just have geographical community groups. So there's a Dominica group on the Ensemble platform. You could create a Maho group. You could create a group for your club, for whatever. And yes, you can do those things on WhatsApp and Facebook and everything else, but that's borrowed land. And once you type messages into WhatsApp and it goes into the ether, you ask the same question 5 times, and it's gone. That value doesn't stay. But in the Ensemble platform, you'll be able to have those listings persist, those jobs persist, those opportunities persist, those events persist there, and you'll be owning it rather than having Mark Zuckerberg and all of the tech bros monetizing your attention to take the money out of the region. Let's keep it in the region instead.
Interesting.
I love that, man. I love that that you're promoting. We've been consumers for so long that it's good that we're promoting that we can be creators as well and producers and not just be consumers. So I love that idea. How does one get onto that site? What's the
Ensemble.org. So for Ensemble, you go to ansanm.org, ensemble.org, and you can register there. The first iteration we'll focus on is the digital professionals and MSME marketplace. So that's really about digital jobs in that solution space. Between now and about the middle of next month, that'll be that focus, and then from August forward, we'll be more open in terms of focusing on enabling other sorts of community groups and having it be a platform where we can connect. We're also really sounding the alarm for government officials throughout the region with regards to their use of sociopathic media platforms like WhatsApp and whatnot. WhatsApp is great for our community conversations or casual communications, but WhatsApp has some very serious and well-documented vulnerabilities that allow bad actors to do things like track the communications of our government officials. And I do not want our government officials throughout this region trying to talk about how we work together while everybody else who's trying to divide us is listening in on those conversations. So I think it's important for them to get off of that. So we are also on the Ensemble platform. There's an application called Ensemble Chat, which is based upon something that the governments of Belgium, France, and Germany are using for their government, military, even intelligence communications. And I think it's really incumbent on us to get our officials off of those WhatsApps, off of the signals, and onto something that's more sovereign and secure. It's being hosted regionally. Our friends over at Cloud Carib have just recently set up our infrastructure in Caracau, and we have some backups around the region so that the data that is there with our government's communications is not going to be subject to foreign intelligence laws and warrantless search and seizure and those other vulnerabilities. So, but go to ensemble.org, and if you're a digital professional now, or especially if you're a government official right now and you're concerned about security. And then later on in August, September timeframe, just general public and members of other communities, if you want to have a group for your club, for your church, for your school, for your friends, it'll be available to you there, for your village. We need to be able to coordinate practically to get things done, I think, if we're going to make a difference in this island. And Nigel, I'm running on a little bit, but I will say, I talked about the frustration that I experienced and how I relieved myself from the frustration by realizing that change was not for somebody else to do for me. It was not for me to look for the government to make change happen for me. It was for me to talk to the people in my community to say, what can we do together to do something positive now, right? And once we develop that attitude, we start to understand that that is really the true source of our strength and change. Power comes from the ground up, not the top down. Change happens from the ground up, not the top down. If we're always looking for others to do for us and forgetting that we must do together, that's when we're going to have problems. So that's what Ensemble is about. It's about the spirit of solidarity and collective action and providing the tools to allow that to happen.
I'm on the platform now. I really like what I'm seeing. So, Nigel, that's my homework for later.
That's your homework for later. Get on there.
Yes.
Right.
There's
Excellent.
a lot of information there that can guide you.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
What about those in the creative industries? At some points, would Assam also be able to be? Would they also be able to be part of that? Because I know you mentioned, quite a few of the Caribbean countries, they either do tourism or agriculture. That seems to be their main focus for now.
Mm-hmm.
Creative industries, writers, artisans.
Yeah, certainly. I think in terms of whatever space that you are in, think about it as a tool to coordinate with your people. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's a matter of what tool do I use to coordinate with my tribe. That's whatever it is. So whether you're in creative or you're in agriculture or you're a fisherman, you want to communicate with other fisher folk, understand what's happening around the seas. You create a group there, you talk to each other, you have your place where you can have collective action and use those tools. So any industry, any sort of community, it can be used by them. But one of the powerful things is the interoperability, and I'll say the ability to connect one community, one person, to several communities, and several communities to larger communities, and larger communities to geographical communities, to international communities, so we build it inside out. That's the real power of that. So now if I have a group of creatives in Dominica, I could be part of a larger network of creatives throughout the Caribbean, maybe working with diaspora creatives in other places abroad, all on the same platform, having conversations about how do we then go and do things that are good for our creative brethren or our agricultural brethren or our people in textiles. So it doesn't matter what you're part of. The point is that the power is through the coordination, the unity, the conversations that we have, rather than being in our silos all of the time. And also creating creating the familiarity between each other, because I think the other thing that I have learned here in Dominique and throughout the region and through the news is the tension that we see between collective action and an insular mindset. My group, my political party, my town, my religion, rather than having people connect more often between each other so that we can gain familiarity about the things that connect and bind us rather than things that divide us. This is what we have to flip the script. Social media is about segmentation, and let me get into my echo chamber hearing the same thing over and over from my side. Ensemble is about connection and what we share rather than what divides.
I love that. Is there, and someone asked as well, is there a registration fee?
No.
When you get onto Assam, is there a monthly fee that you have to keep paying?
No.
So people are asking about the fees and stuff like that. What's it like?
Ensemble is free. Ensemble is free. So,
all right, so Mr. Albin, one of those, you heard that. It's free.
Ensemble is free. Ensemble is free. Now, we will have opportunities for value-added applications on top of Ensemble. So, there is, for example, for those who are going to be in the digital services marketplace, there's a free version of a applicant tracking system that is there. But we also have our team working on an enhanced applicant tracking system that you could pay for, so that that's how we're going to make it sustainable, right? It's free for a digital professional to come in and to register for work. We're also going to have the opportunity to put together teams to do that work, and we'll make the money from the work that we do rather than asking somebody to pay. I'm not going to ask. My father had the same attitude when he came here to Maho. In Maho, he didn't come and ask poor people to give him money. He said, come to work. So he went out and he made a construction firm, and he said, you come and work. And that's how I will get my money. You're going to work for me. You're going to get money. I'll get my money too, right? But I'm not going to ask you to pay. Man, we have the same mentality here with Ensemble. We're going to make what we need to make it sustainable by getting the job done for people. So especially the digital professionals in this first phase, you go there, you register. It's not going to cost you anything. And how am I going to make any money off of that? Because you're going to get work, and we'll make some money together. That's how we're going to make that thing work.
It's early days still, but a lot of people registering. What about Dominica? What is the feedback like?
Starting to happen. My friends over in the tech group, some of them have started to do that. We are just at the beginning of the promotional activities headed up by Caribbean Export. So over the next month or so, you're going to start to hear some messages come out through Caribbean Export. Of course, I'll be talking about it on the podcast, airing live on DBS as well. So we're just starting to do that, but there's good interest right now. We have a modest goal of about 750 professionals and MSMEs that we were trying to hit for August. That's a highly achievable goal, but I hope that by the end of the year, our goal is really to have a few thousand people throughout the region on that platform in the digital professionals marketplace alone. And I will say that when you look at, I've been in this digital business for a while, and in digital services, generally speaking, in a company, a person is worth about $100,000 worth of income on average in Canada and the U.S. Okay, let me bring that back down to let's say it's half of that. If I have a few thousand people throughout the region on the platform, working, earning dollars, and you multiply that out by even $50,000 US, that is many hundreds of, that's millions, many millions of dollars of economic value that flow through. So we don't need to have a lot to have a big impact. And Dominica, 60,000 people, if you got a few hundred young people earning $60, $70, $80, $100,000 US, that means a big deal that's a big deal to their communities and to their lives.
Okay, now I know you're also on following the chat as well, connecting the dots chat
from time to time. Yes.
Quite a few people are
put my glasses back on.
Quite a few people are asking you to go ahead and post again the sites on sab.org, but just go ahead and just provide it to them again.
Will do. Will do.
They're asking for that. Whilst you're doing that as well, though, Dennis. Young people, you mentioned them quite a bit. The young people. Mm-hmm. Do we find a situation where, could start with Dominica and of course throughout the Caribbean region, where we have to begin to have digital education? We have to begin to now
at an early age, yeah.
At a very early age, almost rearrange some of our thinking in the education system, and start to target those young people to get more involved in digitalization.
I think,
is that something that you see happening or would want to happen?
I see it happening. I see it start to happen. I think that, I've been mostly focused on the tertiary and then graduates and professionals, but I start to see it even on the younger levels. I mean, things like the innovation centers that we see in many, many public schools throughout this island, community centers and so forth, that we see have code camps and whatnot. And like I said, I think a lot of these things are undersubscribed. So shout out to Robbie Tong and others who are doing that work right now here in Dominica. But we do need parents to understand and see the opportunity to get their young people inspired by that. But more than this, I think and I'll shout out DBS for spending so much time and investing in myself and the Ensemble show and doing this interview again, because we make our futures out of the stories and the narratives that we have in our heads. And unless people can hear the stories of people who are making it in digital and understand that's a possibility, then they're not going to gravitate towards that. They're going to gravitate to what they see. So we need to make sure that it's more visible. And that's why I spend a lot of time on some podcasts just speaking to professionals about themselves, their journeys, how they got there, what are they doing, what's important to get there, what impacts they're having today, is focusing on those stories. So I think we're doing an okay job on some of these things, but this is the one area where we've produced a lot of good talent, but more than 70%, and I said this in my last show, more than 70% of the people who have higher education and degrees from this region, and in places like Jamaica and Haiti, it's like 75%, leave the region because they don't have the opportunities there to close that loop, right? So we're doing an okay job creating these good, bright minds, but then we're not connecting them with the opportunities to allow them to remain. And that's where we want to bring in these opportunities through things like the Ensemble platform, so that you can stay here, or you can be in Toronto and see a path either to return or to contribute, like our friend Arthur in Florida is doing already, right from where he is. So Nigel, they're doing an okay job. They're doing the best job I think they can with the resources we have, but you don't need any of those things. I think, wow, man, the other day I was interviewing somebody else, and they said, I think today ignorance should be a crime, because you have the internet. If you ignorant about some things, you may shall stay. I mean, for real, because you're just willingly ignorant. I mean, in the late 80s, throughout my 27 year, 2000s rather, in my 27-year career in technology, I mean, I did go and take a course, and I got some certificates, but most of what I learned because I was hungry online. Right? I just went and I learned to code. Somebody said, "Can you do this?" I said yes before I learned it. Sometimes, and because I knew I could go online and learn it. And if Mr. can learn it, I can learn it. Like this guy doing that. Yeah, man, I can do that. I'll do it better. We have to have that attitude. So we're doing things for our young people, but it's not the things that we have. Again, it's not for somebody to do for you in the school, to turn you into some kind of, it's for you to catch a fire and grab the knowledge that's sitting right there in front of you. Like literally, if you're a young person right now and you have the internet and you have a mind that can think rationally and logically, you have the opportunity right here in Dominica to transform your life and to make more than anybody in your village.
And as is written on the Assam platform, it's time to build the tools that ensure our self-reliance.
Yes.
It ties in nicely with what you're saying.
Yeah. And to take it into our own hands. Ain't nobody coming to save us. I'll say that. Here in Little Dominica, nobody's coming to save us. We have to get it into our heads that it is on us to work together, to create for ourselves. We have to get it into our heads to embrace our brethren and sisters in the diaspora. And I'm going to thank again DBS Radio, because I am a prodigal son. But it's when we make people feel at home, we engage with them, and we explore ideas, is when we're able to make progress. And I think we're at the beginning of something exciting with Ensemble.
Wow, Nigel, I'm really enjoying this discussion. I mean, from Kenip seeds and Kenips and how we eat Kenips to where we are now in terms
Nigel's
of the
fashion sense.
Wow.
Well, and you never know. They might just have my shirt and Kenips being part of the whole digital space.
You never know. Yes,
never know.
This can
What
be
can
an
happen,
enterprise.
because it's a lot of space,
Yes,
and it's open to so much. And the fact that you just mentioned here that young people can remain in Dominica, get into the digital space, and earn decent living, earn quite a bit right there at home, doing what others are doing out there. And it doesn't take rocket science for you to learn it if you haven't learned it yet. And if you have the skill, then put it to use.
Definitely.
And it's
How
places.
do we get?
Sorry, and it's places like these.
how-
Go ahead, Nigel.
No. I was going to say you can tie it in with that as well, because how do we get that message to the young people out there to get involved? How do we get those guys on the block? How do we get the ladies on the block? How do we get the young people in the school?
Yeah.
We recently had graduation. We had hundreds of students grad. How do we get that message to them, guys?
We got to come to them. You got to come to them where they are. So I'll put my hand up for anybody who's in those schools. If I have the time, and you can want to email me at dennis@dxalliance.org, and I'm on island.
Say that again. Say that email address.
Dennis, 2 N's in Dennis, at dxalliance.org. Happy to arrange something for to come by and speak with those young people. We're going to try to do some things, and maybe start to tie it back over with regards to what we're doing at FMS, Feed My Sheep Dominica as well. But it's an ideal spot to have some some kind of mentoring going on with those kids where they are. We need to tell the stories. We need to put it out there in the media, and DBS is doing its part on that. But yeah, and for those of you who have made it, especially those in the diaspora and those who are doing things under the covers here on island as well, reach out as well. Let's get your stories on air so that people can start to construct those narratives. Because kids make their lives out of the stories that they see. And we have to give them other sorts of stories for them to imagine opportunities and possibilities that are before them.
Interesting. I'm looking at the time. We haven't spoken about Feed My Sheep. You mentioned it a short while ago.
Yes.
I want to find out what's up with that. But even before, Nigel, you may have another question as it relates to the Ensemble project.
Well, that's why we connect the dots so well, because I'm actually going to ask him about Feed My Sheep and the mentorship program that he have. And I know that earlier on, someone, I think Lenora as well, Dr. Drygo, had mentioned, hey, what's going on with that as well.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that, Dennis, the Feed My Sheep, and of course the mentorship program that you have going on.
Yes. So in the year since I've been here, I was added to the board of Feed My Sheep, FMS Dominica, and I've since been working as interim executive director, because I don't have enough going on already. I need a third job, but I'm working as interim executive director over there, and I'm just so happy. Over the last few months, we've had some really great connections with local community organizations and people who we are bringing into a steering committee to be able to organize programming out of the mission facility there in Maho. So later on this month, if not early next month, we're going to be doing some very practical things, like we're going to launch an MMA program with an organization called Nature Island Fight Academy. MMA is mixed martial arts, so that's kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right there in the function hall in Maho, for children and adults, men, women, young, old. Can learn to kickbox, learn Jiu-Jitsu, do some general fitness, and that's the sort of thing that my cousin Dr. Drago is excited about, because it leads to greater public health. We're going to be as well restarting an agricultural and feeding program. So we have a little bit of a plot of land there, and I'm working currently with an organization out of the U.S. called Macario Advantage, and they have one of their founders, Mago, is somebody who's passionate about agriculture. So we'll be connecting with that organization to do a small garden and then to use some of the healthy vegetables and stuff that we have there to enhance our feeding program, where we feed some paros and whatnot in the village today. But also we'll be relaunching this month with regards to boxes and care boxes that we give to certain, especially needy single mothers and families in need, to help supplement their monthly food and whatnot. So that the disaster stuff. I just went to the to Dee's shop restaurant and picked up some oil containers last night so I can put some gas in them to fuel our generators, so that if we get hit by a hurricane again, the facility can function as a proper shelter for the village. And so crisis care, feeding programs, the youth, the MMA program is something that's starting more immediately, and that hopefully should be end of July, early August. And I'll shout out my coach Brian and others like Saleh and whatnot who do the martial arts there as well. So keep an eye on fmsdominica.org to look at what programs we have going on there and how you can support. But especially if you are in the Maho, Masak, Dramit area as a community group, we've been interacting with the village council, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Guides, people in disaster preparedness. Do get in contact with me so that we can have a chat about how we can coordinate, because it's one thing for one organization to do something by itself. It's quite another thing for us to work together to collectively make that happen. I'll also say the last thing that our steering committee has been talking about, and our board and steering committee, is the possibility of working with the YMCA Latin America and the Caribbean to establish the first YMCA organization in Dominica. And many of those in the diaspora will be more familiar with the YMCA, which stands for Young Men's Christian Association, actually. But it's an ancient organization, a few hundred years old. And basketball was invented in Canada at a YMCA, might I say. But YMCA does fitness programs, it does counseling, it does job training, it does a number of different things. And we might be able to work together with community coordinators, community leaders to create a YMCA. So if you're listening and you're on island and you are passionate about things like the YMCA, do reach out to me, and Dennis at dxalliance.org or Dennis at fmsdominica.org if you'd like to participate in helping make that a reality. That's something I would love to see as a next step to my parents' legacy. My parents, Sam and Lita Augustine, founded that mission to serve the community, but we can't replace them, but collectively we can work together to make sure that mission continues, and seeing it contribute to something like the establishment of a YMCA or programs like the MMA program, the feeding program, something that is near and dear to my heart.
Wow. I'm enjoying this, Nigel. Just to sit and listen to Dennis. Wow.
Busy, yeah, man. Are you too busy, huh?
Yeah, I could listen to Dennis every day, even on a Sunday. Seriously.
Yes.
And he's so into
once you're doing no. Once you're connecting dots, it's never too busy. So that's okay.
Yeah.
and that's what you're doing in all different spheres. So that's fine. We appreciate that. We appreciate that as well. I know we almost at time, but just wanted to, like, in a sense, do you feel that this is going to be more challenging and daunting for Dennis, or is it more hopeful and optimistic for Dennis?
The answer is yes. Yes.
Okay.
Both of those things. Both of those things. So Nigel, this last year has been easily both the most challenging and most inspiring year of my life. 57 years, and I got to say that it's something where I'm starting to kind of again connect the dots, not just in terms of the relationships, the local relationships, the diaspora relationships, and understanding how that can benefit both myself and what I want to do in my career, but this region. It's enlightening It's enlightening to talk to people and hear so often about how my parents touched their lives and understanding what they imparted in me. It's enlightening to sit down there with the domino shed with the guys in Maho and to see what they've kind of invested in myself and to see how they move. So that's enlightening. I'm inspired by how we can contribute now. This digital tool set, it's so timely in 25 and 26, 27. As we get into it, so timely and useful for the country and the region. At the same time, there's a lot of work. I think that if I want to say, if anything, I crave having others. I call myself a collector of people. When I was a minister, it would have been fisher of men. But right now, I am anxious to collect people throughout the island and in the diaspora who want to do positive things to see change happen. So whether it's digitally on Ensemble, or whether it's at the more grassroots, practical dinner plate level at Feed My Sheep, fmsdominica.org, reach out, because if I had one ask of the nation, it's that the harvest is great, but the laborers are few. And we need more laborers to make it easier, but the rewards are so huge. So challenging, extremely rewarding. I'm constantly tired. I'm going to go back to Maho and go have my breakfast as well and probably take a nap, Nigel, before I do the evening's work. But I'm so glad to be here. It's been the ride of a lifetime.
Are you good at dominoes, or do you call it boots?
No, I still feb, man. I still feb. Those guys tell me every day, blockers, and the fellas over there, they're gonna tell me but I'm learning fast. I'm a good student. I would be remiss though if I didn't add to the one thing about the journey, that the other thing I'll shout out my wife in Toronto. So she needed a break from being in the region after the years in Barbados and here. It's been difficult being away from her as well. I crave being able to do that. So all you give me some help so I can go see my wife for a little bit and bring her back. Shout out to you, my love. And but it's been fun, and I want to thank both of you and DBS again, because I think being part of the journey on DBS Radio has really helped me to find my voice and place and to enter conversations that I otherwise would not have had the opportunity to. And I'm looking forward to sharing that and introducing the nation to many more of the wonderful people throughout the region and in the diaspora that are making change happen today. So that your young people can see that we're not just talking about it. These are people doing things. So Peter Ricketts will be on soon. Craig Nesty was on. Do you know, Nigel, when we air the next show, we're going to talk about how Craig is working towards, do you know this, a space program? You ever hear about Dominica looking at space? Yeah.
Wow.
And there's really actually practical reason why that makes sense. I had no idea. Until I talked to Craig. So we're going to talk about people like Craig, who are dealing with difficult things like spectrum in the north, the people in the north having issues with interference from Guadeloupe on their flow networks. Craig is one of the people dealing with the complex, thorny, international, technical, and geopolitical issues to make sure that your phone works. So I'm excited about having the opportunity to talk to people like Craig and Peter and Chris Burns from Power Trans as well. So thank you, DBS, for that. It's exciting as well.
Wow.
We look forward to that, man. We look forward to that. I know we are almost at time, or maybe over time. Security, I know, is always a concern. Cyber security and all that good stuff. So is there a space for those who are involved in security?
Cybersecurity is one of the largest, most important areas. So data analytics and cybersecurity are two of the areas where there's going to be a huge need for human beings for a good long time in the tech space. And let me tell you, Nigel, with the new tools that the bad actors have, it is becoming like one of the most critical forefronts. If we do not get cybersecurity correct in this nation, your bank account is not safe. saying that straight, right? Your money is not safe. Your fuel supply, everything is in trouble. So cybersecurity is huge. So if you are an existing or burgeoning cybersecurity expert or interested in it, go to onsam.org, go to dxalliance.org. Yeah, get involved, get connected. We need more people at the wheel.
Nigel will have to visit onsam.org. There may just be something for us, Nigel.
Yes, that's my
CTD. You never know. You never know. It's connections. Eh?
I need to see a connecting the dots community on Onsam.
Of course,
absolutely.
Yes, it's connections.
Good stuff.
As we said, it embodies collective effort. So let's see what can happen.
That's what we're about here.
Yes, definitely so. Yes. But Dennis, listen, man, we appreciate the connection again as always. It's always nice connecting those dots with you and sharing with you and letting others who are out there listening.
Yes.
To go on to, they can send you an email, Dennis at dxalliance.org.
Yes, right.
Or of course, they can log into the site as well, ansam.org as well, to get some more information on that.
Dennis at fmsdominica.org as well, fmsdominica.org if you're interested in the stuff we're doing practically on the ground in Maho, or interested in perhaps in seeing something like a YMCA become a reality in Dominica. Perhaps one of the first ones in the Eastern Caribbean could be right here in Dominica. So reach out. Reach out if you if you'd like me to speak with your young people at the schools. I'm happy to do that. You got to pick me up, drop me back. But happy to have that happen too.
Most definitely. We appreciate that connection. And initially we started with the whole question of digital currency and the digital land space. This is what's coming, so we have to be prepared for it.
Yeah, man.
Discussions like this are very important. I'm very happy that we brought Dennis back on. And who knows, we may have Dennis again. I have a strong feeling that we'll have Dennis again.
Yes, I don't know. Just in him talking, I just have this very strong idea. And as you mentioned, it's like one of that.
We will
having a panel discussion or something.
Yeah.
2 or 3 other guests, and we can have that discussion and connecting the dots. Might be someone from the region, someone local,
and include a young person in it as well.
A young person, and we just have a great panel discussion as we connect the dots on digital currency and everything else.
I'll do it. I'll do it anytime for a bag of Kennips and for Nigel's shirt.
All right. I like that. But thank you so much.
There's no digital currency involved in that. It's a physical transaction.
There you go. Old school.
Well, Nigel, everybody wants your shirts. So,
all right.
Yeah, but we'll do it again next week. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Thank you both.
So much. I think you'll be on when again? Is it next week or the week after? We'll see. But
next week. I'm ready to go. I've got a whole bunch of things in the tank. So I'm hoping that next week will probably be the interview with Craig Nesty. There's also a scholarship. Actually, so the ECTEL I wanted to put that on next week. It's pre-recorded, but you'll also learn about a scholarship that ECTEL has for young people. We need at least 4 more young Dominican people to subscribe for this, to apply for this scholarship. There's money and support waiting there to help you make your way into the digital economy, young peer people. So listen next week. You'll hear from Craig Nesty. You'll hear about the space stuff. You'll hear about the spectrum in the north. A lot of great things next week, I hope, on the Onsam podcast.
So a lot of people learned a lot from this discussion online, Nigel. A lot of comments,
yes. The comments have been pretty good in terms of the information being shared and they have a few questions. So again, after you have your breakfast and take a nap, you might probably scroll through and see some other questions.
Sure.
Let's get an opportunity to answer during your podcast as well.
We'll do that.
So let's say as well, thanks to all who were online. And Lenora Favorite Drago was there, Nigel, maybe from the get-go.
Yes.
And that's Daily's Roots.
That's my cousin.
Ties. These are the ties that bind.
That's my cousin. I'm so proud of her and the work that she's doing in public health, man.
Yeah.
My cousin Swinburne Augustine probably listening as well. We've got some good people doing great things.
Swinburne is enjoying Dominica.
Swinburne was actually here a couple of days ago.
Swinburne having too much fun.
Yes, a lot of fun in Dominica.
Yes.
Imagine that, An immunologist and microbiologist.
That's right.
decided to
And
just
earlier
come
on,
here.
someone mentioned whether you were related to Felix Augustine.
Oh, yes.
Yes. My
No,
uncle.
it's all related.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
No, Dennis reunion is coming up soon, but that's another discussion.
that's
It
gonna be
is.
fire.
It is.
You should go and
Dennis
unwind
Reunion is
there.
coming
Oh my
pretty soon.
gosh, I really need to.
Yes, and enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
All right, so to all of you on, let me see if I can just see some names quickly. As I said, Lenora, Roslyn, and Wallace
Eleanor,
Santander.
Roslyn, Alan George was on, of course.
Myrtle Wallace, Wicks, Myrtle Wicks.
Yes, what's this?
Justice
Deluge is
Deluge,
asking,
Kenrick Talbot.
can we get the website info one more time, Zayn?
Okay.
You're not listening, but we'll give it to you again.
Yeah.
Let's go quickly.
First, you can email him at Dennis at alliance.org.
At DX Alliance. That's right.
And then the other website that we have is you can also visit them at assam.org again.
That's right. And fmsdominica.org. These are all, these are the sites.
All right, and FMS is for Feed My Ship.
That's right.
It was a pleasure. It was really a pleasure doing this with you, Dennis. And I know, as I said, we will invite you again. You may want to bring someone with you, And Let's expand the discussion. Let's talk more.
All right.
It's we have to learn
a lot of great people in Dominica doing amazing things, man. I'm just amazed every time I uncover that. So happy to bring somebody along for the ride too.
So if my children were not listening, I have to tell them they have to listen to this program later today.
Yeah.
Grab education. All right.
Yes.
So Nigel, next week, God willing, you gonna take
Yes,
what?
we'll
A
do it
snooze
again
now,
next
Nigel,
week,
for
yes.
you? You're gonna sleep? You're gonna
Of course,
close your eyes?
I'll be at a different location next week.
Yes, Papa. Nigel, we perfect, no? Nigel, you took over the Monjon reunion. It's like they forget Alice is from Monjon, they forget Curtis.
They forget it because
and they embrace you so much.
Yes, that is through her that I am here.
Yes, sir, boy. Nigel, Upafem. But enjoy it.
But then again, that was also my district when I was at Cultural Division. So,
well, okay, all right. But enjoy it, Nigel. I mean, you work so hard. So when you can unwind, it's really a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, you
have
need
a beau temps.
to.
All right.
Yes, why not? Why
Take
not?
care. All right. Take care, all those who joined us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so let's join now the DG Fun Time program. Of course, this program is on every Saturday on DBS Radio. Where is it?
All the things you love and way more. Experience our award-winning network today with internet speeds starting at 100 megabytes per second and up. Sign up in store. Digital Plus. Better together. Award based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Q3 Q4 2021.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.